Hey everybody, welcome back to my anime react channel. Today we're going to be doing the return of the Disaster Class Hero chapter 12 and 13 reading. Last chapters we left off with Geon beating up Yang-Wei pretty much to the point of death, and then meeting up with Hugo Otters after he went to Yang-Wei's house to pretty much ransack it for all the artifacts that it had. He originally, I guess, went there for his own artifacts, but decided, hey, why not take a few more things? And he has himself a Santa Claus-sized bag behind him of trinkets and artifacts that, honestly, I don't even think he really needs. The one he did take that was his seems really amazing, and I can understand him wanting that thing. But I'm pretty sure that most of the artifacts that he took really won't enhance his power that much because he's already extremely overpowered. And then there's the fact that at the end of chapter 11, not only did he beat the household god that was under Yang-Wei's control, he also took it as his own. So our boy Geon is pretty much a Pokemon trainer, and he's going around collecting them all. I'm not sure how many of these things he can collect or how many of them there are, but I'm pretty sure by the time the series is said and done, he's going to have quite a few of them racked up for sure. I'm also not sure if they're able to become more powerful or not over time, kind of like in solo leveling. His shadows were able to rank up and gain strength. Not sure if the household gods are able to do the same thing under Geon's control. But at the same time, I do feel like they're probably stronger under his control than they were under Yang-Wei's control, even though they do look a bit more tame, childish, because the original household god, the look that it had was really monstrous, and now it looks like it's some big cuddle bear type tiger thing. And then when it really regresses to like this handheld size, and he gives it the name Piggy-bank, which I find a bit absurd and lacking in taste, it's even way more adorable. The other major point, though, is the artifact that he goes and gets that he actually owns. This creature that is able to synthesize anything that he basically needs inside of his body and then spit it out for him. And once more, I believe that this thing can somehow enhance it, but I'm not sure to what degree, and also restore it if it gets broken. But that gigantic sword that Geon made with the huge snake-like handle type thing, I find that thinking that any of the other saints can break that, or if it could be broken, a bit far-fetched, given that he made it. So the only way that it might get broken is if he breaks it himself. I'm also again wondering if its strength was enhanced by Geon, or the, for lack of better terms, deity that bestowed its power onto him. Because I'm again pretty sure that that's not a deity, but I was also told by another person who viewed these videos that perhaps even the deities that have given the saints their power aren't deities as well. Maybe they're just really strong aliens or beings that this world is deeming as deities because their power is so immense. So they're not really gods per se, kind of like he mentioned that they'd be more like Thor or Odin in Marvel Comics, how people call them gods, but they're actually just another form of a alien in the Marvel Universe. They're not really deities. So that's something to think about and actually keep in the back of your mind, or my mind, when we're progressing through the series, that this could be all some big huge rivalry between this maybe other alien that is slightly stronger or able to overcome the power of the ones that the saints have been given power by, and that something else is going on behind the scenes that, again, we're really not sure of what's happening. But ultimately, Geon and the saints are being used as pawns in these creatures, whether they're deities or aliens or whatnot. This game of back and forth retribution upon each other. But with that said, let's go on to these following chapters. We're going to be reading again 12 and 13. See what happens, and I'll see you there. Alright, everybody, here we go with chapter 12. Let's see what happens inside of it. Traitor! What are we talking about? Traitor? Do you know how worried I was for you? Am I wrong? You got married, set up a family, and enjoyed your life, while your friend was stuck in the tower.
The impudence! The audacity! The unmitigated gall!
Well, I mean, in Hugo's defense, he didn't know he was stuck in the tower. He thought he was dead, so... And I'm pretty sure Hugo Otters didn't think he would be able to beat that creature that was in there that they went in to originally kill as well, so there's that. Someone was just stuck in the tower and trying to get out, while someone else, who calls himself his friend, is living a happy life. I wonder if he even thought of finding his friend. I wonder if this is what a friend is supposed to be like. He couldn't even recognize his friend, who he's met after 20 years. Well, I guess I did look a lot cleaner, but I wonder if that's how a saint should act. He should be ashamed and sorry. This extreme monologue that Geon is going on, while Hugo Otters is in the background, is looking all irritated and irate at him. As if the roles were reversed, I'm really wondering if Geon would have went into the tower to look for Hugo Otters.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe, but more out of curiosity than to save his friend. But, okay. I guess I won't be able to mooch off of you in your house. It doesn't matter. You can stay here for the time being. I live alone anyways. I thought he just said he got married. How does he live alone? I said something unnecessary. Cheer up, my friend. Just smacks him on the back. I'm not divorced. My wife, she's...
What is it? Tell me.
Never mind. Let's not talk about that. Tell me about yourself. What on earth happened in the tower? Okay, we're not going to just brush over that, though. I'm not divorced. My wife, she's what? She's gone somewhere. She's dead, which I guess could be a possibility. Maybe she's on a mission, and she's maybe a saint now, which, no, because I don't know if she's mentioned or if he's married one of the saints, but maybe he did. Maybe he married that girl that was hanging out with Yang-Wei in those clips right before, or those panels right before they went to face off against that boss. That would be interesting to find out, because then Geon might get a little more pissed again. So he just doesn't want to tell Geon that, hey, I married this female saint. So she's a saint. She's gone on vacation. She's dead. Are really the three options or things I can think of. And why he wouldn't want to tell her that she's on vacation or dead. Dead maybe, because you don't want to bring up a sore subject, although I really don't think Geon would care. Geon, for the most part, is a really callous character. Like, not too much really gets to him unless it has something to do with his personal stuff or his own being, pretty much. So, my best guess is that he got married to one of the saints, and that would be really interesting. Tell me about what happened to you at the tower. Let's not tell Sungjae and Yue about Li Geon, since they are fanatics of Li Geon. Okay, I went on a whole tyrant about everything that could possibly be, and I guess Yuha is his wife. She's possibly a bigger fanboy than Sungjae is. So, all that theorizing that I just did, all that monologuing, all for nothing. Like, okay. At that time, I was fighting the calamities outside, so I don't know what happened in the tower. Why were the others carrying the head of the Crimson Eye instead of you? Well, that's because they stabbed me in the back and left me for dead. There's a really sad story behind that. I got stabbed in the back and thrown into a trap.
That was pretty sad.
It was a place that was swarming with numerous calamities. On top of numerous calamities appearing, the dead Crimson Eye had also come back to life. Oh. Really? I don't recall that. So the beast he beat, that they said if they killed would kind of dwindle the power of the tower, came back to life inside the tower? Or came back to life inside this area he fell into, which was the tower. The Crimson Eye came back to life. Yeah, the Crimson Eye we saw wasn't its real body. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It was like a clone? The real Crimson Eye was deep inside the tower. Okay. So it's a huge, gigantic dragon. And this was only like a fragment of it. Kind of like, I guess, maybe the deities. Because, like, the household gods are pretty much like the shadows of the deities. So this thing was the shadow of the Crimson Eye, which was actually this gigantic thing here. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
I managed to defeat that sickening Crimson Eye eventually, but the real problem wasn't the Crimson Eye, but the administrator of the tower. That guy was able to revive dead calamities. Okay, so there was an even bigger bad down there that kept reviving them. So he had to go for him. I managed to somehow slash my way out of there, but I thought I was really going to die. That bastard tortured me like hell. But he doesn't say he killed this guy. So the administrator of the tower is probably still alive.
Nope.
But I'm not sure because the tower did get destroyed, right? So maybe it moved on somewhere else. At the end of my struggle for my life, I killed the administrator as well, and I collapsed after using up all of my strength. Okay. Again, there goes that theory. If I remember correctly, I'm sure I died there. And after I woke up, those hellish monsters were no longer in the cave, and I don't know why, but I obtained my current abilities. One thing is for sure. The bastard who backstabbed me knew the structure of the demon tower. Since that bastard managed to trap me in the cave that was filled with numerous calamities, as if that person already knew the location.
That's interesting. So,
here, I'm going to go off on another rant real fast, and the next panel will probably tell me I was wrong, but let's go. The saint that backstabbed Geon was probably, I feel like, told by the god that it got its power from about the layout of the tower. So, I'm sure that these deities, whatever they are, aliens or whatnot, know the structure of the tower, know where like all the other calamities are coming from and things of that nature. They might even be being sent by these so-called deities to cause chaos on Earth or havoc on Earth, and to give more purpose behind them being there, because people like to create situations in where they can look like the hero to get the praise and adulation of the people that see said act being, carried out by. So, let's say that the so-called deities are sending the calamities to destroy Earth so that they can in turn use the saints to destroy said monsters to look like good guys. And the praise that they're getting somehow maybe empowers them or causes some kind of maybe possible rift to open between the worlds, so maybe they can come to Earth, maybe they're still trapped, which is why they only appear in like celestial form. So they're trying to come to Earth somehow. Again, just wild theories that I'm just tossing out there, but again, I feel like the Saint knew, because the deity that controls or gave the power to the Saint knew about the layout of the tower. And again, I feel like there's some kind of rivalry going on between the Saints and whoever gave Geon his power. So they wanted to get rid of Geon, and this is the best way they figured that they might be able to do that. And also, since Geon is calling that one creature an administrator, I'm wondering if it had more control over what was going on than Geon's telling right now. Because an administrator is someone who has the rights and access to, you know, something. So, and he can override, like, the rules of the program itself. So is this a program of some kind? Or is the administrator more along the lines of maybe some kind of, like, program that's above the other programming, that maybe even is able to self-evolve, which would give more reason to why I think that this administrator, although the tower did collapse, might still be alive somewhere. But kind of like the administrator in Solo Leveling, that gigantic looking, well, no, it wasn't the giant statue that was the administrator in the end, it was something else, but you know what I mean if you've read Solo Leveling. But continuing on, I'm definitely going to beat up those guys who stole my assets and spoke bullshit about me. But I'm going to give the guy who backstabbed me special treatment. Okay, so that's what I thought. I thought that, you know, because he didn't kill Yang-Wei like he said.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
So I figured, hey, we're just going to really beat the shit out of all of them. Because, well, I feel like they deserve it. They stole my artifacts. They gave it to themselves. But the guy who really had it in for me, the one who stabbed me in the back, that guy's going to die. That guy is going to get the full Geon treatment. And if Yang-Wei is an example of his treatment to those he hates, there's not going to be a speck of dust left of whoever did this to Geon. I need to start preparing in order to do that right. I guess. I need to make equipment that I'm going to use to beat them up. So, what's this, a horse that he's going to have? Summons. Creation Workshop Level 1 summons a workshop that can create anything. 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 That's insane. So, anything means anything, but could you fathom Lee Geon creating a warship full of nukes that he just throws at whoever stabbed him in the back? Like, that kind of anything? Like, just your
imagination
is your limit. Searching for materials that you can use to create. Would you like to use materials to make divine artifacts? Materials. Log of materials that can be used. Corrupted essence of the Spider Queen. Accumulated magic power can be absorbed. Fragment of a calamity. You'd be able to increase the success rate and power of the divine artifact. Other than these, various divine artifacts of Ares have been detected as well. Alright, so I guess he can't make, like, anything because he needs the materials to make whatever it is he wants to make. So, he can make anything as long as he possibly has, like, the materials to do it. But he just can't make something out of nothing still. Should we just try throwing everything in? Oh yes. Let's just throw all the items into the stew and just see what pops out.
Sounds good.
Creation of divine artifact is starting. This is going to be like some powerful warhorse. Creation of divine artifact has completed. An ego has been produced. I mean, I feel like Lee Geon already has an ego, so we don't need a new one, but okay. Imitation Horse B. If you write a name on the artifact, the owner of the name will be able to absorb the magic power of the person he/she touches. You're able to absorb 10% of another person's magic power per hour. It bears a strong loyalty to its owner. So if he writes Yang-Wei's name on this horse and then touches Yang-Wei for an hour, he gets 10% of his power. So if he touches him for 10 hours, he absorbs all of his power. Is that where we're going with this? If you write a name on the artifact, Yang-Wei, the owner of the name would be able to absorb the magic power of the person he or she touches. Okay, so Lee Geon would have to write his name on it and then touch literally anybody and gain their power. Gotcha. This is great. Since a divine artifact with the ego can grow itself. Oh, interesting. So, does that mean the artifact grows? Or does that mean the ability of the artifact grows? So, later down the line, he can absorb 20% of somebody's power within an hour, and then 30%, and so forth and so on. But for a high-grade equipment that possesses an ego, it doesn't look that cool. The artifact actually looks irritated that he said that. Are you seriously saying that? Do you know how many materials I had to use for this? I was wondering if I should use the remaining materials to make equipment for you. I should forget about it. I thought he threw everything in the pot anyway. This amazing design, Geon. You truly are a genius for being able to create a divine artifact. I was talking about how I wasn't cool and how I should be treating the divine artifact with respect.
Ask it, sir!
This artwork is hilarious. I have not watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, but I'm pretty sure this is more akin to that than anything. Depending on how well you do from now then, we need to start by taking care of those saint bastards. How are we going to do that? It won't be easy to get the other saints to get out of their own territory. I don't think that really matters. I mean, pretty sure Geon can take them on wherever they are. Wouldn't this be enough to draw them out? Oh, that's the World Divine Artifact of Ares, the Safe of the Golden Fleece. Safe of the Golden Fleece, double S ranked artifact. One can store anything as well as proliferate the items inside if you pay a price. So, I guess this is like some bottomless pit of storage, but you have to pay for the storage. Okay. That's one of the top artifacts among the Royal Divine Artifacts. Why would you bring that out when you can't use it? I heard that Otakso is a saint that has no money, so I brought this along to fund us. I'm not poor! The higher grade the divine artifact is, the more materials it costs, isn't it? We'll use this to multiply our materials and also make a high-grade divine artifact that could mess them up. So proliferate means that you can multiply the amount of items. So you can store anything for free, I'm guessing. And as well, proliferate the items inside if you pay a price. So he can add any material inside of this thing that he wants, pay a price, and then this artifact will increase the number of things that they put in it. And since Toxo said, Hugo Otter said that he can't use it, so for some reason Geon cannot use this artifact, so he's going to have Hugo Otters probably use it to increase the number of items that they throw in there to make artifacts that they use to beat the other saints.
Not quite.
How are we going to do that? There's no one here that's able to activate it. Okay, I guess I was wrong. How is he going to use it? I thought that since Hugo Aldous was a saint, he could use it. You can't even use this? Hey, I'm not the Aries saint. I'm the Sagittarius saint. Right. Okay. I guess then that means that only the Sagittarius saint can use it? Not just any saint? That's weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I figured that a saint, you know, being a saint, could still probably use it to some degree. I think you can use it, though. I can't, I'm sorry, but we'll need to find another method. Damn, I already sent a declaration of war to the broadcasting station, though.
What did you say?
What did you send, and to which place? I guess we have no choice but to find another way. Wait, what did you send to the broadcasting station? Oh, you crazy bastard! Korea, Blue House. Retards. Not only were you guys unable to kill one spider, you got yourselves humiliated. You guys should have just stuck to selling good luck charms for amulets. Why go join in the fight with the calamity? Okay, I'm guessing this is a Leo Divine Cardre Captain Oliver. Okay. Leo Divine Cardre Captain, please mind your words. I heard some unknown guy was the one who killed the Spider Queen. Did the dead Lee Geon come back alive or something? Don't cross the line. Okay, somebody's mad. Leo Divine Cadre Captain, it looks like you're too obsessed with the hero stories of Lee Geon. Gemini Divine Cadre Captain, Choi Sung-Hyuk. What's the matter? If it's Lee Geon, he could definitely kill the Spider Queen easily. Didn't you see that famous Russian subjugality on Battle video? That's because he received the buffs of the other saints, and his weapons were given to him by others too. With that kind of support, we would have done way better.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I don't think that's exactly true. I think that's a story you were told. I guess you didn't have enough support. That's why you weren't able to kill the Spider Queen, huh? I'm setting the record straight here. We from Aries are the ones who killed the Spider Queen, thanks to the sacrifice of an S-rank disciple. Well, we all know that's bullshit. Wow, Aries had such a powerful person. I'd love to meet that person. I guess I'll have to look for that person in the stomach of the Spider Queen. Okay, these two looking like they're going to go toe-to-toe because of their egos. Damn it! When did the Blue House become the den of such thugs? President Nim, something big has happened. Please watch the news now. Special report. Our broadcasting station has just received a mysterious package. Inside it were the pictures of whom we assume to be Yang-Wei and a short message. I'm back. That's definitely a short message. Pictures of Yang-Wei beat the hell up. The handwriting analysis confirmed that it was not a 99% match to the deadly Geon.
Hey!
Yes, little girl. What were you thinking when you sent that a war declaration? I'm asking them to prepare their heads to be cut off. Hey, you attention seeker. You killing Yang-Wei is already a big problem. Why would you announce that? He didn't kill Yang-Wei though, did he? Yang-Wei? He's not dead. Exactly. Like, what? What? Well, strictly speaking, he's alive, but not really living. Huh? Ta-da! This is Yang-Wei. Okay, what's going on? Oh, Geon, you fucking bastard! What happened here? Geon Ophiuchus. Constellation skill. Creation workshop. Summons a workshop that can create anything. Gaze of God. An eye that allows you to see through the nature of all things. 13th sense. You gain a special perspective. You're able to interfere with the spiritual realm. Okay, I thought 13th sense allowed him to see the weak points of things, but alright. Super regeneration. Regenerates all wounds at a super high speed. Body of 100 poisons. You are resistant to all poison. And last but not least, Battle God Instinct. Use up the remainder of your magic power to unleash the state of a god for 3 seconds. I don't think we've seen that yet. 3 seconds isn't a long time, but it allowing him to release the power of his deity for just a few seconds might be way more than enough to turn the tide of battle if he is in fact losing a fight. Which I guess we're going to see eventually, because he wouldn't have this ability if that wasn't going to happen. So, that's your chapter, people. It has thrown a small monkey wrench in my assessment of Geon's thought process, though, because I thought he wasn't going to kill the Saints. That he was just going to kill the last one that, actually stabbed him in the back. But he did kill, I guess, the body of Yang-Wei and put his soul into a rabbit puppet thing. That said, I don't know how powerful, again, Geon is with this list of abilities. There's not a whole lot of abilities, but I guess they're pretty absurd, not to mention whatever, power he has himself. But to be able to entrap the soul of one of these saints into this rabbit seems a bit absurd. And I also wonder if this puppet Yang-Wei has any power himself. Like, is the deity that gave Yang-Wei still giving Yang-Wei puppet rabbit blessings of power, or has that gone since, well, he did dip before Yang-Wei was even turned into a rabbit in the first place. So I guess Geon used his ability to make anything to make the puppet to inhabit Yang-Wei's spirit. And then we've got, his declaration of war against these idiots that, he's on his way to find them. And he was going to use the one artifact to produce other artifacts, but, that got thrown into the toilet since Hugo Otters can't even use it because he's not the Ares Saint. So I guess each of them might have like their own special artifact given to them. So Hugo Otters probably has like his own special artifact only he can use, and so on and so forth with the other saints as well. So this thing, I guess, is just going to be sitting in his room for some time until they can figure out a way to use it, because being able to use this right now to infinitely make items, I feel like is a little too much. So putting this thing on a back burner for now is pretty cool. But having it for later on down the story, where they might be able to figure out a way to use it, possibly they could get the... If they could possibly figure out, somebody, I guess, under Ares to use it, or if Rabbit Puppet Yang-Wei is able to use this thing, that would be interesting to see. maybe he's still able to operate the artifacts that were under his control, even though he's in this body of this rabbit puppet. I really like this little panel. This is hilarious little panel. So yeah, it definitely looks like Geon had a much harder time in the tower than I originally thought. I knew he had to beat up a ton of calamities, but the fact that the original Crimson Eye was not dead is bad enough for him. But then the fact that there's this administrator that kept resurrecting them and then toying with him and then doing possibly some really, really questionable things to Geon. Probably adds a layer of hatred that Geon has to the other saints that I cannot even begin to fathom. Alright everybody, but that was chapter 12. So let's move on to chapter 13, see what it's about, see what happens in it, see if we get a little bit of clarification onto Rabbit Puppet, Yang-Wei, and I will see you all there. Alright everybody, here we go with chapter 13. Could that be Yang-Wei? Oh, let go of me! Release me! My abilities have gotten pretty good from the experience from this battle. It is now possible for me to restrain Yang-Wei's soul. What are you doing, slave number 2? Introduce yourself. Whoa. Even something like that is possible. What in the world? That's not important. That's not important. The fact that he can encase somebody's soul into a doll, not important. Look at this. This is going to be important.
This is important. Let's check it out.
Okay, a dagger. What is it? The knife that was stabbed into my back. It's what put me into a trap. Okay. Do you recognize this dagger, Hugo Waters? And while we're here, at this moment, I just want to say that I don't recall if I stated this in my last reading during my thoughts, or this is something I thought of during the week. But I really think it would be interesting if in the end we find out that Hugo Otters is actually the one that stabbed Lee Geon in the back. And that's, again, how he knew Lee Geon was going to die, is not his ability to foresee the future, but because he not only foresaw it, but he did it. And I think that will add a layer of, storytelling to these events that are transpiring that maybe a lot of people wouldn't have seen happening or coming, because they make all the other saints out to be such big pieces of shit that you would think that the person he was most ingrained to, that would not betray him, is in fact the person that betrayed him. And the fact that, Sungjae and Hugh Utter's wife loved Geon so much is because, the stories that he told them, because the stories might have been true, but maybe he only told them those stories because they asked him to tell him or them about Geon, because everybody assumes, they were such great friends that Hugo Otters would know more than anybody else about him. It does seem like a bit of a stretch to say that Hugo Otters is the one that stabbed him in the back, but maybe if Hugo Otters was being controlled by the deity or alien or whatnot that gave him his power and kind of erased his memory of that event, that would be interesting. I feel like there's some way to make it work and still make, Hugo Otters either his friend or Hugo Otter's enough of an associate type friend that he's able to tell his family about Lee Geon and still, seem innocent. Because he doesn't want to come off, as the person that killed Lee Geon in the first place, I would think. But, yeah, this is something I thought of randomly, I think, during the week. And I thought that maybe it would be an interesting facet of the story if it was a possibility. A blade that pushed Geon to his death. But see, it's things like this that make you wonder or question my line of thinking, though, because why would he have this inner monologue like this if he wasn't the one that did it? So, unless it's just for the reader to throw us off for some stupid reason, but and it wouldn't definitely not be the first time that things like this have happened in shows to throw the viewer off. From its engraving, it doesn't look like an ordinary blade. If you were stabbed, then it definitely wasn't Yang-Wei. Then I'll go check how cold the Han River is then. It's a Korean joke. He's saying he'll drown him to death. See, I'll go check how cold the Han River is. It's a joke. He'll drown him to death. How is that a joke?
Not okay!
If that's a joke in Korea, y'all people might need to lighten up a little, to say it. I'm going to drop by the Divine Artifact store for a bit. The Divine Artifact store? There's a store that sells Divine Artifacts? What? The Divine Artifact store? Why there? Ash Harris said that he saw that engraving somewhere in the store. Alright, lend me some clothes. You can wear anything in the closet. Rummaging through the closet. Then I'll go leave you to guard the house slave number 2. Number 2? Is there a number 1? Of course, it's the household god. I'll be back, number 1. I was just about to say that he might be referring to Hugo Otter's as slave number 1. So where does that put the household god, though? Because that was my initial assessment. But then as I was scrolling down, I was like, maybe he's talking about, yeah, it's... And again, this is why I referred to Lee Geon being callous, because, like, you really can't tell if the dude is playing or not. Alright. Yang-Wei's destroyed remnants of a house. Saintess Nim. The Aries Saint is not here either. I can't sense the Divine God's energy either. Is that so? Then I wonder where he went. Alright. All you perverts out there that love feet, there you go.
Nice.
So she's definitely one of the saints, and she's probably the one that was hanging out with Yang-Wei in that panel that we saw. Aquarius Saint Sophie Mardi. Perhaps he disappeared with all the wealth. What a predicament. It would be quite bothersome if you made a deal with another saint behind my back. Where did that bald piggy run off to? Saintess Nim. Is it possible that the Lee Geon who just returned kidnapped Lee Geon? Is it possible that the Lee Geon who just returned kidnapped Lee Geon? I'm almost sure they mean Yang-Wei, but I could be wrong. Ha 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 ha, sister. Your jokes aren't funny. What the world? I apologize. I said something unnecessary. It's alright. I'll be heading to the Divine Artifact store as planned, so be prepared.
It's about to go down.
I had to sell off the Divine Artifacts to prepare the funds for the Drachma auction. This auction is very important. Okay. She's going to the same place Geon is going. Okay. I guess this is very fortuitous for Geon. Not so much for this girl, though. But this will be interesting to see, nonetheless. There is a huge problem with Saintess Nim. Other saints have also applied to participate in the Drachma auction. What? Lion's Gem. Okay, we have some buff-looking dudes looking over their shoulders. Stephen Nim. Oh, it's Thomas Andre from Solo Leveling. They say that Geon's Divine Artifact will appear in the Drachma auction. Huh. Right. A shit ton of weights just fell to the ground. Huck. It's finally appeared. Geon's Divine Artifact is ours. Alright. Leo Saint Stephen Marker. Alright, a whole bunch of electricity and power around what looks like a portal. Teleport is quite convenient. That's what I thought. It's usually expensive, but it's free for Gemini affiliates. So we have Geon and Sungjae. Divine Artifact Store Complex. Just out in the middle of the world. So it's one of these buildings? Because I would think that if you have a Divine Artifact Store, that it would be out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by a shit ton of guards, and look incredibly fancy at that. Thanks, I was looking for an appraiser, and you introduced me to an double S ranked one. Haha, it wasn't much. You know the man who defeated the Spider Queen? Scout him. No matter what, I'll give you whatever support you need. Okay. So they were about to kill him, and now they're asking Sungjae for his help in getting Geon on their side, even though they really don't believe it's Geon. Alright, so now we have Sungjae looking at his phone, listing this person talking to him as Bastard Boss, which I think is this guy who is the person that was going to leave him for dead in the market. So that's, I guess, an appropriate name. And trying to make out some of this writing, I'll give him something, our Divine Cadre, a black card if he joins our Divine Cadre. So there's that. Free teleports for life. And even the best contract conditions. So they're definitely trying to offer Geon the best that they can. Is your boss bothering you after that incident? That's... Take this back. I used it well against the insects. Ojana's Desire A. Skill. Summon Two-Faced Soldier. Red Soldier Sadist. Blue Soldier Masochist. Activates a random skill. Wasn't this rusted at the time? I fixed it. The effects are a little different, so don't be surprised later. For now, thank you. Fixed it. So I guess he changed its abilities to these two abilities. So when you use the dagger now, it's going to summon a Two-Faced Soldier. The red side of the soldier is going to be a sadist, and the blue side is going to be a masochist. And then on top of that, it activates a random skill. yo, bro, you can keep this thing. Like, that seems all kinds of messed up that I don't even want to be a part of. Like, I would whip this dagger out and end up dying while these two are trying to get their rocks off, stabbing each other or whatever it is that they feel like they need to do to... This... Man. Oh, no, thank you, no. Whoa, this place is the place where the double S ranked appraiser is? Okay, they weren't going to the artifact shop first. They were going to the appraiser's house. I guess that makes more sense. Oh my gosh, someone like that in a place like this. She's too beautiful. The Aquarius Saint. Yo, and just from what we saw earlier with her in the tub strangling her assistant because she got a little irate, this goes to show their real feelings and like their true self. So, like all these divine saints pretty much are all two-faced because she's trying to put on like this, oh, holier than thou act in front of everybody when she's in fact just some power-crazed, greedy little prick that doesn't care about them at all.
We know that, you fool.
Saintess Sophie Mardi Nim. I'd like to leave some divine artifacts for the appraiser before the auction. Saintess, I apologize, but the appraiser is with someone right now. Okay. How dare he help another customer when I'm here? See? This is the two-faced side. It's alright. I'll wait around the area then. No. Go inside now and demand to be seen now because you are a saint and this is outrageous to think that somebody else would go before you. Just so we can get this done and over with. Who in the world is inside? Wow, a double S rank ruins this place. The price is also double S rank. Sungjae, who made this? Me, why? You made this? Do you possibly have some sort of connection with Gizanime? Everybody just doesn't get it. This is Gizanime. This is Geon in the flesh. Virgo affiliate, double S rank appraiser, Jin Myung. Myung. This Hyung is a Gizanime pretender. Sungjae, we're having an important conversation right now, so wait for a moment. Children should speak when children are spoken to, basically. You, what is your relationship with Gizanime? Why? Most people don't know this since he's so famous for combat, but he's a legendary producer. This artifact you brought me, I've seen countless counterfeits in my life, but this is different. I feel Gizanime's handiwork from this. Oh, you must know a lot about Geon. Of course, I have to, since I'm his disciple that received his favor.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
I'm going to go ahead and say that he's lying, but there's also the possibility that maybe Geon in his previous life, or, before the tower, spoke to this guy in some way that made him think that. What? Why are you blushing? Okay, so like I said, there's the possibility, because some people, especially when they talk to somebody that's really powerful or really famous, they might misinterpret something that they say, or push the meeting beyond the bounds of reality, even though they might know it doesn't mean whatever it is they think it means or want it to mean, and continue to tell themselves said story about whatever they were told until they manage to completely convince themselves that they're right. So, since I'm his disciple that received his favor, maybe before the tower, Geon met this guy, and Geon ran into him, and they might have bumped into each other, and Geon said, "Hey, I'm sorry," and that was his favor that he received. All kinds of possibilities, really. So we have this other saint that's appeared that I'm really hoping in the next coming chapters gets annoyed that she's having to wait, and she just ends up barging inside, because that's really what I wish would have happened this chapter, but it's not. But as I stated, they're all really two-faced, and this panel just really expresses that so well. So I guess they're going there to appraise the cost of the artifact Geon made, to sell it to get money to buy other artifacts. I don't know why they're here getting money if he can just continually make artifacts. And also there's this dagger that he gave back to Sungjae that just screams, "Don't use me." And then we have that alright, before I get into that, then we have this guy, another one of the saints, who really reminds me of Thomas from Solo Leveling, with this gigantic body of his, and then his hair that kind of resembles more like the lion mane type thing going on. So, yeah, and then I'm pretty sure even Thomas Andre had some kind of tattooing going on in his body. I'll double check that and put a little image above just to show the similarities that I think they have. And I guess the only other thing really is, again, this rabbit thing that, well, I didn't notice this the first time, how Yang-Wei in this rabbit body is laughing at Hugo Otters since Geon told him he was number one, i.e. the number one slave, so that's funny. But I'm curious, again, if Yang-Wei in this body has any ability or power, or once more, if he's able to use that divine artifact that Geon took, that he was wanting to use to create multiple artifacts, or items with to create multiple artifacts. But not a lot happened really in this chapter. We're just introduced to this other saint. We're told that he's going to go to this place to get his artifacts appraised. And, okay, we're introduced to two saints, actually. Just one more so than the other. And that's pretty much it. A small conversation with the shop owner. And that's the chapter. So, not a whole lot more to go over as in was the previous chapter, in my opinion. There was a lot more revealed in the previous chapter. But next chapter or so will probably get, I believe, Geon meeting up with this girl. So that will be interesting to see. But with that said, let me know what you all thought of these chapters. If you enjoyed my reaction, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that sub button down below and support me. Thank you for that. Hit that like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time.